Hello, happy people. I hope you're having an amazing day today. So today I just finished reading the Clark Ashton Smith short story. It's a science fiction. Well, I'm sorry, it's a fantasy one. It's called The Death of Ilalotha, Ilalotha, and so forth. It took me 38 minutes for me to read it last night for the first time. And that sort of a thing. It was written by him and so forth. So basically what happens is that basically a lady in waiting to the self-widowed queen, Saint Lika, had formed a party and so forth. And there's a lot of things that are happening to celebrate her death and that sort of a thing to head her up and help keep her happy. There's a lot of stuff like orgies, drunkenness, that sort of thing, with the death of the lady in waiting, Ilalotha. And then she definitely has had a great life. She was very, very strong stuff. She loved a man who is our primary character. He just returns from a week abroad. And that sort of a thing, doing tours of the edges of the area and that sort of a thing. And he runs across her, and he doesn't believe her when the queen says that she's dead. For her lady in wait, doesn't believe it, and that sort of a thing. And then he doesn't believe it even more because she looks like she's alive. She still has the vigors of life about her, and that sort of a thing. So he doesn't believe it, and she says she's dead. And I'll tell you this story later on. So I'll meet her up, and that sort of a thing. I'll let you know as to what actually happens with Ilalotha, and that sort of a thing. Both Saint Lika is a lady in waiting, and the guy, our primary protagonist, and that sort of a thing, and so forth. I'll leave that to your imaginations, and so forth, and you can read it. I'll link it to a line on eldritchdark.com. Again, took 38 minutes for me to read it for the first time. Clark Ashton Smith wrote a lot of things that we care about on this channel in fantasy, science fiction, and horror. This is fantasy too. He wrote in the pulp-era and was one of the big three for the weird tales of lots. He's a very unique style of writing, and that sort of a thing. In this case, he definitely wrote some. He had read, and he had a near eidetic memory, and he read a bunch of dictionaries as a kid, and retained a lot of that information. So he would regularly use those words. And that sort of a thing. So you have to look them up or just learn by context clues and that sort of thing. So it has its own unique style. It's also very prose, poemy, and that sort of a thing. So he can be a little dense to read at times, lots. And again, he's one of the big three at the time. And he was heavily influential on early Dungeons and Dragons with Castle Amber. That's based on his world, Avermois, set in medieval France, or stuff like the Seven Gashes too, on early Dungeons and Dragons. So basically the idea there is strong stuff too, heavily influential on that era. I love him lots. H.P. Lovecraft was one of the big three. He's definitely remembered today because of his cosmic horror that he sort of, there were some cosmic horror short stories before him, but he sort of put him on the map in a major way of the Cthulhu Mythos. And the Sword and Sorcery was put on the map in a major way by Robert B. Howard, who created Conan, that sort of thing. So those guys still stick around to these days, but there's really not a whole lot of people that are still dedicated to the craft of Clark Ashton Smith. So I think that's pretty sad, because I think he's just as strong and in some ways better. I think he's a better writer than the other two. I love he's a better stuff. Love him lots. So I like bringing him to your attentions. This is fine. It's probably a little longer than it needs to be. At 38 pages long, not 30 pages long, 38 minutes long, but it's not the longest thing in the world. So it's probably like a 7 out of 10 for you folks. I love the ending. I love what happens, and that sort of a thing. But I wouldn't say it's a classic like some of his other works. I like the Seven Gashes and that sort of a thing. But I'm giving you a 7 out of 10 for you folks. There you go. So have you read The Death of Ilalotha? If so, what did you think about it? Did you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10? Let's talk about that too in the comments below. If you like this, just try to keep it spoiler free, like I did. I know you're going to be excited to talk about spoilers, but please try to keep it free. Many people might not have even heard of Clark Ashton Smith, or certainly haven't gone back and read it, right? Let's please keep it free for those folks too. And then also, if you would please let me know what your thoughts are too. If you agree to disagree with 7 out of 10 too. Ranking, well, I don't mind, right? Remember, I'm not a literary critic. We're trained in anything like that. I'm just a fan. So your opinions are just going to be as valid as mine is. Alright, so there you are. Alrighty, if you like this video, why not hit the subscribe button? There should be a lot more videos. I'll try to do 3 of these older reviews, like I mentioned earlier, from the genres that he does that I cover in the older eras and such. Love it lots. Hit the subscribe button. Watch the videos of Clark Ashton Smith or other things too. Then go back and hit the bell icon to be notified my 3 videos, as well as the other 4 I do a week too. And then also hit up that your friends and let them know too, whether they're fantasy or Clark Ashton Smith, older stuff, whatever. Love it lots. And this passion for the older things and people like Clark Ashton Smith comes from the name of this channel. The worst thing about new books, to quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones. This stuff, like some older classics that we might have forgotten about. Love it lots. Held influence on today's stuff. Alrighty, there you are. Thank you so much just for taking some time out of your day and investing it in watching my videos, right? Because we all have so many things that are happening right in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it so very, very much. Thanks again, and have an amazing day.